Today, we're going to talk about Obsidian, which is a free note-taking app like Notion, except you have to kind of do everything for it. Just fine. And I was looking at it, and a friend of mine started using Obsidian for his notes, his TTRPG notes. And I've been looking at Obsidian off and on for a while, and I'm like, well, okay, so I have Legend Keeper. And I showed off my adventure template in Adventure Keeper. And I was like, can I do the same thing in Obsidian? Well, I can. Requires some plugins and a little more. But the Obsidian advantage is it's free and everything is local to my machine. Advantage to something like Legend Keeper. Eventually, they're going to have stuff that's more TTRPG focused. It is a monthly subscription, but it's not bad at all. But the templates and things just work. The commands, you don't have to do any extra little bits of coding. It's all right there with / commands, and you can find it all. Whereas Obsidian, you have to do a little bit of coding, and you have to find plugins to replicate everything you need. So advantages, disadvantages, such as it is. So I thought I'd go through Obsidian, and there were a couple things that tripped me up because the videos I was watching just didn't explain them. So hopefully I can kind of get around that. And then Obsidian's nice because I can take my vault, which is basically, for my purposes, this vault is named my home campaign, and then I have things about my home campaign as separate pages within Obsidian. So, a while ago I did show off my adventure template in Legend Keeper. Did relatively the same thing with Obsidian, and I'll show you how I did all that. Let's take a look here. I will go to the window. Boom, here it is. All right. As you can see, I have spots for summary. I have this 3-column bit, which this was the trickiest bit right here. This 3-column bit. This required a little bit of code. That wasn't bad. Then I have this for secrets, stuff the party doesn't know or I want to reveal or just extra information. And then notes, any notes that seem relevant during the campaign. But as you can see, location, monsters, treasure, basic summary of the story, and then I title the adventure whatever I want up here. This is my template for it. And you gotta create the template spot for, you gotta create a templates page. Then as you can see, adventure template title here. That's what we're looking at right now. And then you just dump this in your templates. You do have to tell Obsidian where to put templates. So you'd go down here. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, go down here. My home campaign is called Dimensional Delirium. Hit the settings button. Oh, I have to. Sorry, I didn't do the dynamic one. And then you go to templates and folder location. I've told it, where it is. So this, I said, hey, all my templates, my template folder location is in a thing in my Obsidian I'm calling templates. So it knows, okay, these are templates, right? You may even have to create a folder in your vault for templates, but I think so. Let me double check that. Okay. So, as the first part. So then what you do, how you use a template is I create a new note. I'm like, okay, I want to make a new adventure template, which I would or a new adventure thing using my template, which I'd eventually put in the adventures. Right, I think I want Control 4. Yeah, Control 4 is what I want. Adventures. And on the side here, we have Insert Template. So you click that, and then I go, oh, here's the title of my template. So if I had more templates, the list would be here. Click that, and suddenly, here's my entire template. We'll go over the properties thing as well. So if you're used to Notion, you know, each page kind of has something like this properties thing. This is a fairly new way of doing these, but it's very easy. You usually want it at the top of everything, but I will make a blank page and show you that real quick, because it's all part of, as you notice, I have different tags. So session date, in-game date. I don't know of a way yet in Obsidian to make a calendar for the campaign if I wanted different months and years and dates, or if I wanted to follow, you know, say I'm playing D&D, I want to follow the calendar of Faerun, that type thing. Campaign name, but it's a story arc, the characters that were in it, major NPCs, list them, and then I have this tags for any other tags that make sense, just kind of a catch-all. So in order to do that, we make a new note. And the first thing you want to do is type /properties and add a file property. And which one do you want? Or do you want to create one? So I can make one, say, zoomies. Now I have this tag. What type of property is it? Is it text, list, checkbox, date? Is it just for a number? Do I make a list with it? And now on this page, I love Obsidian for info management. Looking forward to seeing how you use it. Yeah. Now on this page, we have, now we'll always have this property, zoomies, right? I can carry this over to other things and so forth. But it also, if I just want to click add property, it takes all the properties I've already created in this vault and gives them to me here as well. So I can put in-game date, but then I can change that. You know, if I want in-game date to be a date or checkbox, I can change it to any one of these. All right, so that's properties. That's probably one of the most important things, because in Obsidian allows you to do tagging, and I haven't set up tags yet. And so it's just, tagging is just using, I think, the @ symbol and then a name, or it could be, yeah, @ symbol and a name. So that's the first bit, is you usually want properties, especially if you're doing template, put properties, always make that the first thing you do. And it just needs to be at the top of the page for Obsidian to be happy. And so another thing, you can see these are different colors. This is a plugin. This does not happen in Obsidian automatically. So I'll show you what plugin I use for that. As well. Now to make the make these are called callbacks, which I did not know and had a hard time finding, or call outs. So here is the list call outs. I just didn't know what to name them. Name this thing. Maybe if you're into coding, you already knew these were called call outs. I didn't know. I was trying to figure out, okay, so these are blocks, but blocks didn't really bring this up. So Obsidian provides you with a whole list of callouts here, and you just type them in. Now there's a syntax to this, right? So you do that, and then wait, no, I gotta look at it again. Sorry, I'm new. So multi-column, yeah. So we do a little caret, and then okay, I was thinking about right. So we do greater than, and then bracket. And notice you probably can't see it too well because of the color. Oops, sorry, not that button. That button. But you can see it automatically makes two ones as soon as I hit the greater than sign. Makes two little brackets. This is where you type in your command. There we go. So in here for that summary one, I type exclamation summary, and then make sure it's closed off. Hit enter, and then I can type in whatever I want. This is my summary, or use anything else within it, right? Then when I click off of it, or hit enter a couple times, now look, I have called summary. This is my summary. And so when you want to type in these things, make sure your text is below what you're calling the note, or the what you're calling the call out. And what we'll do, and I'll show this when we get into the multi-column bit, is that the multi-column plugin thing will keep the text within its bounds, so it won't go out. You don't have to worry about that. It'll stay within the thing. And you can add all sorts of things below this. You want, but this is the important bit here. And then if you want to name this something else, like I want to do another one, so greater than, bracket, measure point, warning, and then you just space, I think it was a space, and name it help. And now I have this neat little symbol automatically, which there's a way to change these symbols. But now instead of saying warning, it's called help. So make sure there's a space between the bracket and what you want to call it. And now I have two different zones, if you will, in my template. Now the thing I liked about what I did on Legend Keeper was that I had 3 columns. And that was easy in Legend Keeper. I just hit the slash, hit 3 columns, and it came up. Well, doesn't quite work that way in Obsidian. So what I did was, to do this multi-column thing, I should mention, there is a Markdown plugin that you can use that uses Markdown. But what I'm going to show you is a CSS snippet. And I think it's a little easier to type in than the Markdown one, but use whatever makes good for you. So here's the page. Let me put this up in a browser so y'all can see. And so when you go to that website, you'll see something like this, right? And these are the three you're looking for: gallery cards, multi-column, wide view. These are all CSS. And you can go here to the releases. Control 4. Go to the releases. Click on it. And you'll want this first zip file here. Then you download it, you unzip it. Now, where to put these? Well, that's something you gotta do in your Obsidian Vault. Or you gotta mess with your files in Obsidian. So there are a couple steps in Obsidian that you have to do to get these to work. Now we're back in Obsidian. Settings. And then appearance. And go down. And you should see the CSS snippets. If you don't see CSS snippets, you need to create the folder for it in your vault. And then this will appear. So you go into your Windows file system or whatever file system you're using, create the folder snippets, and I'll show you where to do that. And then you drag the the zip files, you drag the files into the snippets folder, and they'll appear right here. And we are using the multi-column one. That's the important one. I just grabbed all three because I got all three. I haven't used these other two yet. Okay. Oh, one more thing before we get there, real quick. Notice I have this wide. How to do this is not an apparent thing to figure out. So I typed it in Google and it came up, fortunately. So if you want, normally it'll be like Notion where it will start in the center kind of the screen. And then in Notion you can click wide view and it moves everything to the left. Well, to do the same thing in Obsidian, at settings, was it editor? Yeah, editor. Under display, readable line length, turn this off and everything will go to the left. If you want everything to be center screen and smaller, click it on. But yeah, readable line length is the thing you need to do this, to make it look like I have it. And how I was supposed to know that otherwise, I don't know. So thank you to whoever posts things to the internet about Obsidian, because there's no way I would imagine, oh, limit maximum line length. Oh, right, that means blah, blah. Everything's going to be used the full width of my screen. I'm not sure how I would have gotten that out of this, or even known to look for it. So you do have to change this default. So I had to, going back to the CSS snippet things, I had to create this folder. I was clever in my naming for my Obsidian Vault. And do I think I remember what it is? No. Oh, I called it Obsidian Vaults. TTRPG campaigns. Okay, so within your vault, and you tell Obsidian where to put the vault. So I have Obsidian Vaults, TTRPG campaigns, inside Dimensional Delirium, what I call my campaign. I go here, and then in the .obsidian folder, click that. This is where you create the snippets folder. If it isn't already there, it might be there for you. I don't know what causes it to be there or not. But if it isn't there, you have to create a folder called snippets for the CSS snippets to work. I found out there's all sorts of CSS snippets you can get, but you need to place them all in this folder that may or may not be there for you. So I double click and I can see that I have all three of the .css, the multi-column .css, the wide views, and the gallery cards, all in the folder. So as long as they're in this location within your vault, you will see them under Appearance and CSS snippets. You may have a little on-off switch here. Or, yeah, may have a little on-off switch here initially. Turn them on, and make sure you turn on the ones you want to use. So for this, we're using multi-column, right? And then we apply the same bit of coding as we did the callouts, because largely it's all CSS. So you do the brackets, and I'll just show you what I did here. Except you start it with greater than sign, bracket, exclamation mark, multi-dash column, bracket. And that sets up the rest of them. And then every time you want a new one, I double bracket in, name it, and notice here I have the warning one, call it monsters, and this one's the example one, treasure. And now since I have 3, multi-column goes, okay, here's 3. Evenly spaced across the screen for you. So if I were to do that here, oops, wrong button. Do this. Multi-column, and it magically gives me the bracket. Go down. There's already a greater than sign. Type in another one. If I hit the shift key and do that helps. And then, oops, I did not want to do that. Bracket, there we go. Exclamation mark. Then I want to make a summary table. Oops, it helps if I call it the right thing. Again, that link I put in chat earlier will tell you all the callouts that Obsidian uses. Right? I got that one. Then a couple lines down, I'll make another one. Same concept. Info. And this will be party. Oh, it's not called info. Okay. Oh no. So we'll just do warning. Oh, no, it is called info. I need a space between the bracket. And I do like that it highlights. So, okay, there's going to be my second one. Third one. Double bracket. So let's make this warning. This is the oh no's. And I can do yet another one. Again, another. So there's 2 greater than signs in a row. Bracket. Measure mark. Let's use. Okay, error. That's fine. So notice it renders it. It's like, wait, what's this? And then you click this little icon here to edit this code block. And so this is going to be error. Big eeps. All right, and you hit. And then when you get out of it, hey, look at this. 4 columns right here. And I can just type, once again, type right below the name of the column you want your text to appear in. So this is I'm just going to type a bunch of stuff in here. Rabbits are cool. I like to watch anime. There's a pizza in my future because I'm having frozen pizza tonight. Now, if you notice, this has already gone beyond the column length that you saw up here. And then again, right below party, type whatever you want. But it fits within the column. It automatically word wraps for you. So yeah, like I said, there's also a plugin, and I'll show you plugins real quick because I use a few plugins as well. Go to community plugins, make sure restricted mode is off, and I'll tell you if restricted mode is on or off right here. So I have restricted mode off, so I can use plugins. Then community plugins, you go to browse, and you can search. You can see I have the data view installed because I want to try out database things later. But yeah, you can see all the different plugins. And if you're looking for something like the color text things I use, I type color up here. Here's file color, colored tags, fast text color. And so for these colors up here, this is the file color plugin. So you go to community plugins, browse, find them. You can see I have fast text color, or not, file color. And then I can go to settings for the plugin itself. And I can add different colors to this. So add color. Here's, I can type in the RGB value. Can set it, name it, I don't know. Dark purple, why not? And I click save. Now when I go to my file menu, this doesn't affect the text here, right? This is just for your file folder, your files. There's two separate things, okay? And then when I right click, and I can say set color, and now here's my color list, and here's the dark purple I just made. And I can click, any one of these. I named this reddish, obviously. So yeah, but you have to select your colors and do that. So plugins are fairly easy. So that is the basic things that I use for making my adventure template. Now I do the properties. I went through, I added all these properties. So they're all a separate name like I showed earlier. Keep that at the top. And then I can, add tags here. Like I could tag the characters of my party here. And if someone was missing or, just couldn't make that the session, I can not have their character name appear here is the idea. So I know who's here. And then I can save this. I can print it off. Whatever I want to do. But this is what I would use to run a game session. Yeah. So pretty much like my Legend Keeper thing, except a little more to it. You got to know this little bit of CSS coding here. Really not bad, but it took me forever to find this, so I'm giving you all a shortcut. Because nothing in Obsidian is apparent. Like, it's really powerful, and you need plugins for stuff to work for you. So I can show you some of the plugins I have that I'm not quite using yet. But so colored tags, you can choose, adaptive soft or adaptive bright. And then as you make the tags for your stuff, color can change. Fast text color. Fast text color is probably the easiest way I found to color text that you're typing inside the note. So fast text color, and I'll show you how easy again. Again, you can add a new color to the theme. So you hit the plus button. You can these ones come with it, the red, orange, yellow, green. So I'm not going to touch those. You know, and you can choose if you want it bold, italic, lining, capital, whatever. Make sure you name it first. So this is 10. Make sure you add a name here first. Otherwise, I couldn't find how to name it. So I'll call this one blah. Hit the plus button. Now I have blah. I click the color. Again, we have our nice little RGB. And I don't know, maybe this weird greenish color. Okay, and now I have this color added to the theme. And then to add it to my text, down here, type this, highlight it, right click, color. Oh, look, there's blah. There's all the colors I had in that window. So that's yellow. It shows you here. And then if you want to remove the color, you hover over the dot and you go to remove, and it's gone. And then, you know, so it shows you, it does show you kind of the code, but once you go off of it, it's that color, right? So we're in edit mode. I can show you read mode. You notice everything looks great. Let's remove that color. And we'll keep that text up there. So we went over file color keyword highlighter is useful. You gotta type in the keyword. So I'm gonna add a new keyword and I'm gonna call it kitty. All right, we pick, this is important distinction. This will be your background highlight. Again, you're highlighting the keyword. So let's make it something, yeah, let's go with kind of an orange. Okay, so now I have this new keyword, kitty. So every time I type in kitty, it highlights it in orange. It makes the text black. And yeah, and so you can go through and, you know, if you need a certain word colored, it'll automatically go through document, color it. Here's the first one is the text color, right? So I can make this white. Oops. I can make this white, right? Yeah, and then if you want to remove it, just click the minus, and it's gone. And to disable and delete plugins, just go to community plugins, find the name of the plugin, can turn it off or on, delete it, or here's the settings, or you can add to it. Now again, I haven't messed with data view. This is for database, so can't tell you much about that right now. I haven't really used the note toolbar yet. But there was something I liked that Legend Keeper does, which allows you to make extra tabs up here along the side. And there are numerous plugins for that. But I think the one I liked was Note Toolbar. I just installed this late last night, so I haven't had a chance to try it out yet. That's where I go. And yeah, so that is how I'm currently using Obsidian. Let's see here. I want to give credit here. This guy does a lot of Obsidian videos. In fact, that's his whole channel. And I learned quite a bit from watching these videos here. But yeah, so this is currently how I use Obsidian.